I will do spotlight my video. I usually find that spotlight my video, or when I share my camera, it comes in better quality in your screen. And I can confirm that because I can see the connection indicators when I'm just putting out my video as part of a regular video. It uploads at about 400 kilobits. But when I spotlight the video, it uploads it closer to 900 kilobits. You should be able to see a difference between the video before and after I started spotlight sharing. And that's because when I'm writing on my tablet screen a little bit later, you need to be able to see and read what's on the screen. So you're going to need that extra resolution. Same thing for the people that are watching this in the recording. It'll come in better resolution on the recording. My video is spotlighted. This also prevents people, if they accidentally start sharing their microphone, we start picking up background noise. The main video will not switch over to whoever's talking, whoever's making a noise in the background. So this will help me prevent people who didn't intend for their faces to show up in the video to accidentally get swapped over to. Probably been like that. That's where I really want to see you and vacuum in the background. This should prevent some of that. Anyway, hello everyone. My name is Professor Wesley Trevino, and I will be your instructor for Math 1324 this semester. Math 1324, Section 503, I think. We are scheduled to be an online anytime class. That is, these sessions that we're having now, I picked this time today kind of at random. This falls between two of my other classes. But we can have these sessions really anytime. The people that are here probably are pretty flexible in their times. So, but if you are here and you would not normally be able to make it this time, definitely. But for the people that are watching out there afterwards in the playback, let me know if a better time exists. I'm doing most of my classes in the afternoons this semester, and I'm teaching a night class. So I'm on the sort of 1 o'clock to 9 o'clock shift this semester at the college. But you let me know what your schedule is, or maybe even Fridays, right? Fridays are completely open. And we can find some time to get together, however convenient that is. So today, I just want to go over the syllabus and the online homework system to get started with. I don't want to sit here and read the syllabus to you, but I do at least want to point out the important aspects of it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to switch over to my tablet. Yeah. Most of the time we get together and we'll be working together, you'll see me down here in my little bubble. And this is my tablet screen that you're looking at now. It's okay. I know the words are kind of small. I'm not looking for you to read any of these words. I just want to point you to the right area of Blackboard to get the syllabus in the calendar that you need. In Blackboard, which when you first log into Blackboard, they changed this semester. The default area of Blackboard is now this My Sanjak page, which doesn't have any of your courses on it. Is weird, but okay. So it used to be the courses were on the main page when you logged in, but I have to click on courses up here to be able to get to, oh, hey, these are my list of courses. And that's a new thing. So if you took classes previously, yours changed too. I have a bunch of classes because I'm teaching a bunch of classes, but you probably don't have quite as many as I do. I put mine at the top of the list, Math 1324. Obviously, you know how to get here because you are here in the session, and you know how to get here because you're watching the video recording. You can't watch the video recording without at least getting on Blackboard. Inside of Blackboard, you'll find I've got my sort of first day instruction announcement here. There is a picture of a textbook, but we'll notice that our class is not textbook centered anymore. This is the old textbook, and this is the textbook the class is based around, but we're trying to get rid of the textbook. So if you want to buy, and I'll go ahead and mention it since we're looking at it, if you want to buy an older version of the textbook, please do. The name of the textbook is there. I believe the picture that you're seeing on the screen is the 14th edition of the textbook, but I've taught out of way back to like the 12th edition. It hasn't really changed that much. And so if you can find a copy from some random person on eBay, like the 9th edition, 10th edition for $5, go for it. You know, it's nice to have, it's not required. I put it in the syllabus as an optional textbook. Because as we go through the semester, I'm trying to cover the same ideas, the same material. Obviously, I can't use excerpts from the textbook because this is not our official textbook. But that's just an idea of where we came from. It's going to be my focus to either give you that same information here in the lecture videos, live session videos, or to find similar resources online that you can access. We'll start in this Start Here section, since that's pretty standard for all of our courses here at San Jacinto. Actually, let me start with the syllabus. Click on Syllabus Calendar. And all of your courses at San Jacinto should have their syllabus and or calendar posted here. I went ahead and downloaded and opened ours here, but I just wanted to show you where they are in our shell before I went there. The calendar we'll see is pretty sparse. We'll start with the syllabus. Open the syllabus here. The syllabus looks the same as every class. I've just customized it for this particular class, my information, my email address, the name and number of this specific class. The stuff that you really want to see is, what's the grading scheme? What are the textbooks? All of that information. I put the optional textbook here. Any edition of that textbook will be just as good as any of the other ones, optional anyway. We do have a required homework system, but the nice part is that MyOpenMath, what we're going to be using, doesn't cost any money. That comes with downsides, right? Free doesn't mean perfect. The only good thing about paying $100 for a textbook and getting the online section that comes with it is that when a question is broken or it gives you typed in the right answer and it counts it wrong, somebody's job is to go in there and fix it, and they usually do so pretty quickly. You send them the email that it's broken. I can do the same thing for all the questions on MyOpenMath. I have the technical skills and the access that I need to fix any of those questions. So from your side, student side, it should be much the same way. If you find a question which is broken, you type in the answer and it doesn't count it correct, even though it shows you the answer and you type in the same thing, email me. I can fix them. And if I can't fix them, I can remove them from the assignment and replace them with a different, better, correct question. So as far as everything we need it for, MyOpenMath should work much the same as all of the other fancier textbook-centered publisher options that are a lot more expensive. Right, the course ID and the enrollment key are posted on Blackboard, and I'll show you where they are as soon as we're done with the syllabus. The only thing that we really need that it costs any money at all is some kind of scanner or camera. If you've got a smartphone, you've got everything you need, really. I happen to have a fancier separate webcam here on my computer. This is my desktop computer at home, but my tablet computer has a webcam in it. I just don't use that one because when I'm sitting here writing on it down here on my desk, right, it's got to look straight up at the ceiling. So it can't see my face and sit on my desk for me to write on at the same time. So I have a separate camera. You're not required to turn on your camera during our live sessions, although if you would like to, you certainly can. I'm not going to discriminate. Please don't show anything crazy. I will turn off your camera if I have to. I can also mute microphones if I have to as well. Generally, you'll keep your microphones muted unless we're having a very specific group discussion day. And even then, I'll put us into breakout rooms. Anything that's said or shown in the breakout rooms is not recorded, and students usually are a little bit more comfortable sharing in the breakout rooms when the recording is not rolling. And I don't blame them. Right? I had to make my peace with becoming an online, on-camera personality in March whenever we switched as a college, because I wasn't used to it, right? I mean, I might watch people on YouTube, but I didn't imagine I'd ever be in the same kind of situation, even streaming out to 10 people at a time in classes. And it's weird. So, but you do need some kind of camera or some kind of scanner, because when we take tests, we're going to be returning the work. I'm going to be grading the actual work that you send in for all of the points. It's weird because the regular homework assignments, right? I'm not going to be going in and checking your work on those. I'm not going to ask you to upload your work on those. But for the tests, I will. And so part of the live sessions and part of the emailing back and forth that we do should be, okay, I feel like I understand this. Here's a question from the homework. I got it right. Let me upload my work page to the class discussion board. Does this look good, right? Would you count off for this if I gave you this on the test? It's usually a good question to ask yourself for all the homework assignments. Because, again, part of what we're learning is not just how to get the quote-unquote right answer. Right? Anybody can get the right answer. A computer can give you the right numerical answer because someone has specifically programmed the computer how to do that specific problem. And the stuff that we're learning in this class is we're going to try to understand a little bit more about the mathematical world around us so that we become better general mathematicians / problem solvers. The rest of the stuff on the syllabus is pretty stock standard. I say download it, keep it in a file folder somewhere deep if you ever need it. But here in Texas, that shouldn't be never, because we all design our classes to a common set of standards in Texas. Any university you transfer to in Texas knows all of the same outcomes and teaches all of the same outcomes we do here at San Jacinto. Only if you transfer somewhere out of state, you want to go to Illinois to go to college, you may have to provide your syllabus so that Math 1324 here is equivalent to whatever it is there in Indiana or Illinois, right? Whatever number they're looking for. But if you're going to stay in Texas, it really need. Here's what you really probably came to see, right? The grade range. Standard grade range, 90, 80, 70, 60. But our grading formula, that's the interesting. That's the 20% homework, 30% final exam, 50% unit exams. And so you can see that most of the work we're going to do in this class, right, almost all of it, right, 80%, if you add together the final exam and all of the other exams, all of that stuff is going to be upload your work stuff, not computer stuff. So that's why I'd say computer is for practice. It's for seeing all of these wonderful ideas and concepts. But the real work comes either in live sessions like this one or in email, tutoring, etc. So you should be able to show your work. In general, if your work is late, it's half credit, but I'll show you how to do that on my math. That's get closer to. There's a little bit of leeway there. Same thing for class discussions. We're not an in-class class, so that kind of doesn't apply. Classroom etiquette kind of does, though. Most of the time, it'll just be you listening to me, right, as I write and as I speak here on the tablet screen, but not always, right? Sometimes we'll be having class discussion. Sometimes we'll break out into separate rooms. Just knowing that it's okay to not know everything. It's okay to say, well, I tried this out and it didn't work. It's okay to ask a question, even if you think it's a dumb question. I want to hear all the crazy things that you think. I know that it sounds bad when I say it that way, but sometimes you have to tell me what you're thinking and why you think that way before I can really get in there and start tearing it apart and saying, you know what, I see that's not the right answer, But now that you've explained why you think that way, I can see that. I totally understand why you think that, right? And that's almost correct, right? If you change this one little bitty thing about this one little bitty step, everything falls into place. Right? That's why I like doing it that way. It's not a this is right, this is not right. It's more of a, are you following the correct mathematical procedure? We'll get a lot farther with that kind of thinking than trying to memorize everything. No one can memorize everything. Right? It might seem like I've memorized everything in this class, but that's not true. I know all the math, I understand all the concepts, and so I can prepare for a whole day's worth of lecture, with maybe 10 minutes of review of what we need to talk about. And because I don't need to remember all of these specific concepts and specific procedures, that's just part of how math works. And because I've practiced it enough, I can just kind of pull it out of my long-term memory. And I want you to get to the same place, right? I don't want after this class you to go, oh, good gracious, math done, forget all of it forever. I want some part of that to live in the back of your mind. If you ever see something like this again, you say, wait a minute, I did something kind of like this when I was in finite math, when I was in business math. You know what? I know what to look up on Google because I don't remember the details, but I know what to look up on Google to give me the same kind of access that I had at one time. And let me see what I can figure out. Or maybe when you're sitting at the car dealership buying a car, and your ears will perk up to say, wait a minute, that sounds like BS. That doesn't make sense with what I remember from my math classes. Tell me a little bit more. Or really, I can figure this stuff out on my own too. That's what I really want for you to get out of this class. I don't want you to just turn into a big book of memorize. That's no fun. I won't like it, and I'll actually discourage that. I'll take more points off. If you don't have good mathematical procedure in your work problems. Turn off my tel. I touched the button on the top of the screen. There we go. That. The rest of the syllabus is pretty standard. I will mention I'll put something on the Blackboard if it's not already there about tutoring. You can access the tutors online, right? And I highly encourage you to go visit them very often. I'm going to be there on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 2 till 4. Got all garbled. Try to. There we go. I'm going to be there on Tuesdays from 2 until 4. So when I show you the link on how to access the tutors, make a time. We can specifically come. We can specifically talk about your issues, your questions, your problems, and I want to be able to help you very specifically. Because I know a lot of people in the online class are just going to say, whatever, I'm going to do my homework, and then I'm going to turn in really bad work, and then I'm going to get bad grades and wonder why I got. But I don't ever want to go see the professor. That takes more time. I want to invest time. I want to spend most of my time helping the people that are here to learn rather than chasing the people who really aren't. Anyway, back to the Blackboard section. Under the Start Here tab, right here. Yeah, right here. Start here. To the Start Here. Got the MyOpenMath directions. Got a link to the website, myopenmath.com. More importantly, right here is the course ID number and the enrollment key. And you may not be able to read it on my video screen, but it's there in your Blackboard. 59486, course ID number. 503 for the enrollment key. That's your section number is 50. That's why I made it. Same thing as your. MyOpenMath is a really great website. I'm going to go to MyOpenMath. I'm going to log out of mine to show you what it'll look like for you. This is what MyOpenMath will look like for you before you sign up. So just click register as a new student. And you don't have to give a whole lot of information, just your name and your email address, really. That can be your San Jacinto College email address, or it can be your personal email address. Just know that when I send you a message in MyOpenMath, it's going to go to whatever email address you gave them. Right? So if you don't check your San Jacinto College email address, probably should, but if you don't, send it to your personal email address. That's fine. I'm not going to criticize. But I expect that when I send you a message through MyOpenMath, wherever it goes, you'll be able to read it. The course ID and the enrollment key go down here at the bottom. And it's free. You shouldn't have to wait. Shouldn't cost you anything. You'll be able to get right into the class. Back to the main screen, log in. Again, I've got 1,000,000 classes because I teach 1,000,000 classes. But for you, you'll probably only have 1 or 2. Ours is this one here. 2021-10-1. That's basically a fancy semester code that we have to use on the back side of things. This is academic year 2021. 10 means fall. -1 means it's a 16-week class. That's my code class this. And here you can already see I've already got the first couple of weeks worth of assignments already posted. At least the first 4 weeks, 3.5 weeks. The test will show up here when I get it finished. And the assignments will just keep going. On this calendar, I can make it show me a lot more weeks. But you can see I haven't finished putting all the homework stuff here yet. You can't do them anyway. Right? The green ones are the ones that you can do. The green ones will start to turn yellow and then red as we get closer to the deadline automatically. The gray ones are homework assignments in the future. They're all question marks, but you can tap on any of the days, and this little table below the calendar will update and show you all of the homework assignments that are on that day. You can jump straight there. Pull this back down to 2 weeks. I don't encourage you to just live in the calendar, right? If you scroll farther down, we've got lots of information here. Right? The course orientation is all here. And all of this, you can't see the testing schedule because that doesn't apply to us. We're not same kind of class. Right? But there's our class discussion board here. You'll be able to post questions for me. And the nice part about it is in the discussion board, you can actually type math notation. You can make a fraction an actual fraction, same way you'd write it on page. That's nice. You can upload pictures there if you want to. My notes for this day have the picture. But every unit and every week and every module has at least some extra information in it. We have to. This is an online class. And so, yes, homework A1, A2, and A3 are here in Module A's folder, but so is all of this reference material that you'll need during this week. And you can consider this, the reference material, your textbook. Most of that same information that should be in the other publisher old school textbook should be here. And if it's not, I'll try to cover it in this live sessions and view it in the recordings. I'm going to go out of my way to try to find good websites and good resources for you. And I try to switch it up, right? So I might post one link to Khan Academy every week. I try to limit myself to one Khan Academy per week, because everybody knows you can go to Khan Academy to get decent videos and decent resources. I try to spread it out and send you to lots of different places. That way, if you find one place that you really like, you can say, oh, hey, I'm just going to go back to there, see if I can find new information about what we're talking about now. But if you have more places where you can go, that gives you a better chance of success of finding something that works. So lots of websites. I try to stick to one Khan Academy per week. And every folder should have something like that. So next week, I've got a special topics. And so I found something that wasn't really in the textbook. And so I wrote my own little textbook page about it. And then you've got all of the extra resources here. And so there's good stuff down there. Good question. I see a question coming in already in the chat. By the way, feel free to use the chat. Whenever you type, it makes a ding in my ear, so I can hear that you've said something. You can also raise your hand. You can click the little raise hand button, and it makes a different noise, but it reminds me, hey, someone's raising their hand. Keep talking. Question came in, what is a late pass? So it shouldn't be saying that for assignments right now because all of them are due now. But after the due date, I'm going to double check all of my, I'll double check all of my dates. After the due date, it should say use a late pass. And what a late pass is it basically gives you an extra week to do an assignment. You only get 5 of them though. So there's not a whole lot of leeway, but there is a little bit of leeway. When you use a late pass, it'll give you 7 extra days, but the 7 days starts from the original deadline. And so you can't wait until the Saturday after the assignment was due, use a late pass, and then you'll get 7 days after that Saturday. The late pass only adds 7 days to the original deadline. So it'll make it the next Sunday. If you don't use a late pass until Sunday, then you'll get less than 1 day's worth of extra time. And if you wait until after the next Sunday, you'll have to use 2 late passes to open it up again. Right? Basically 1 late pass for every 7 days that you drag that deadline into the future. So you don't get a lot of those late passes, so use them wisely. But the late passes give you late access to homeworks with no penalty. If you run out of late passes, or you find a homework assignment is really short, sometimes I get students will email me to say, well, if there's only 4 questions on this homework assignment, I don't want to use a late pass on it. You just give me the penalty for it because, yeah, penalty sucks, but I'd rather save my late pass for a longer homework assignment later in the future. I'll probably want one instead. I will manually open any assignment for you for a late pass, for a late penalty. Right? It was a 50% penalty, but again, that's better than 0. And it can save your late passes. Or if you just run out of them, you use all of them, you can still keep working on late assignments, but it'll be 50% penalty if I have to open it for you manually. Good question, by the way. Shows me that you're already getting in there, clicking around, seeing what's there. I'm glad. I'm really glad you do that because knowing how to use all of the features of MyOpenMath is pretty important. If you click on your gradebook link, it should take you to a big table worth of all the grades and the final grade in the class, very bottom of that gradebook page. I think I'm going to try to scroll. I'm trying not to flick the camera really quickly. I don't want to make anybody sick by scrolling too fast. I think if I go to student view and then click gradebook, it will show me. It doesn't show me what it would show you because I'm not a student. I apologize. But the grade that it shows you there should be correct and up to date. All of the grades and all of the weights and all of the whole syllabus, weighting categories, all of that should be programmed into MyOpenMath for you. So the grade that it shows you should be correct at any given time. I will manually transfer your grades back from MyOpenMath to Blackboard, but I'm only going to do that every time we have a test. So your up-to-date grade will always be on MyOpenMath, but for archival purposes, I have to send it back to Blackboard eventually. Absolutely. Another question was coming in. So the idea was that the homework you work on by yourself, and then the exams, you'll submit the work, and I'll look over it manually to grade. And that's correct. That's correct. Week over week, right, it'll just be, the live sessions will just be mainly a problem-solving session. Right? I might start with a short lecture about something which I didn't find a good website about. It's like, look, I need to talk about this specifically because I didn't find a good website for it. But most of the time, it'll just be your questions about the homeworks, your questions about anything which is going on. That'll be on your own time, right? And again, this is an online class. It should mostly be on your own time. The exams will open up. You'll have at least 2 or 3 days to work on every exam, if not half a week. You can do it. on your own time. Write it on paper. Just take camera pictures of pages when you're done. If you download the Adobe Acrobat app, it's got a decent way to make those into PDFs automatically. I know that iPhones can do that automatically. I think I posted directions on the OneDrive app. I only did that because everybody gets OneDrive as part of their San Jacinto College student email account. So I know that everybody has access to the OneDrive app, but it's not necessarily the best one. And just the one that I know everyone has. If you use something like Cam Scanner, you have that on your phone already, that's okay too. Whatever way you have to make a. And I'm actually going to take it down to my tablet and actually going to draw on it for your grade. Good question. I like that. Trying to think. I don't think I have any other super important things about MyOpenMath. It explains itself pretty much. I'm just going to open up the first assignment just to show the stream, the recording, what it looks like. That my teacher preview. Oh, should have done student preview. This is what it'll look like for you. They're pretty self-explanatory. Every question is basically coded by a different instructor. I code some of these questions, but not all of them. That's why I said some of them will be broken. Some of them will have weird numbers sometimes because of the randomization that's coded into it. I can fix them if they break. Every homework question, you get 100 tries. I'm probably going to change that down to 5 or something a little bit smaller than 100, because I don't want you to be able to keep typing in numbers into the same problem over and over and over and over until you get the check mark. But I do want you to have at least a few tries at every problem. I don't want to force you to start over every mistake you make. So I'll probably make that number a little bit smaller, probably 5. And then this next one is how many times you can try a similar problem. So if you use all of the tries, you can start over, right? You won't get a penalty for it. You just have to be able to do a problem without doing it 5 or 10 times. So you'll have pretty much unlimited tries on all of your homework problems. So I want these homework problems to be working through the ideas. This is not a test, quote unquote. Right? So you should be able to get 100 on every single homework assignment. Your goal should be to get 100 in every single homework assignment. And if you don't feel comfortable with the ideas and the concepts, right, that's what the questions in the live sessions are, what my email is for. By the time we finish every week, everybody should have 100 on all the homework assignments. I was trying to find one of the questions. Yeah, like this one. Okay. When you click inside the answer box, you can usually type in a pretty complicated math expression into the box. I've got to pull up my keyboard to type the number. Sorry. But it'll let you type in fractions and everything like that. You just got to be really careful about exactly what goes where. Like if I wanted to put that x to the 5th power on the top of a fraction, I would go outside and then press the fraction button. You'll learn little things about how do you make it look right. But in general, if it looks the way you would write it on a piece of paper, that's the correct way to type it into this. It didn't used to work this nicely, and so I'm really glad they updated this MyOpenMath software to look a lot better. How it shows this, I don't know. I'll put a pi down. You should never have a pi, but it's there. So this first homework assignment, first 2 or 3 homework assignments, I know we're going to be pretty easy. They're mainly review topics. So if you've had a math class in the past couple of years, or you graduated high school 5 years ago, most of these homework problems should be mostly straightforward for you. They won't always be that way, I don't know, but I wanted to let everybody have a chance to at least get up to jogging speed before we really take off. We're doing all kinds of graphing and matrices and probability by the time the class is over. You can skip from question to question using this big box here. So that's kind of nice. It shows you all of the questions and your scores for all of them. It warned me because I didn't save my insert. Okay, that's the MyOpenMath. That is our live sessions. Like I said, if you need a different time for the live sessions, then email me, just let me know. We can change these times. I just put 4 o'clock as a rough approximate time. It's between my 2 other classes, so it made sense for me. But you may have an actual synchronous class this time, different time. Can't make it, and I totally understand. Just let me know, give me feedback about the scheduling. Before we go, because I didn't have a whole lot that I wanted to talk about today, I just wanted to give you time that you can ask questions of me. I know there's already been a few questions that have come in about me personally. And most people don't know this, but I'm actually an economist. My first degree is in economics, not mathematics. And so when I started teaching mathematics, it was a little bit weird because I taught economics before, and I always hated it because I had to spend so much time teaching math. We never got to talk about the cool economics ideas. And eventually I just said, well, why don't I just go teach math if I'm teaching so much math? You know, a college like San Jacinto might have one economics professor per campus, but they'll have 10 or 12 math professors at the same campus. There's a lot more jobs for math. So I said, obviously I should be teaching math, and here I am. Little things like that. And so I'll open up the floor for questions about Blackboard and about MyOpenMath. But you should have everything you need in the Blackboard session posted in the Start Here tab or the Syllabus Calendar tab. The Course Content tab does have links to my OneNote notebook from previous semesters. I've got 2 previous semesters, and I'll probably post a link to this one that I was writing in today. Actually, I didn't do a lot of writing in it, but I'll post a link to another one today that I'll be using to write in. And a few extra assignments I'll post in the little folders here. Most of them are hidden right now. It's basically the ones that I've made in previous semesters that I don't use every semester. So as I see we might need some or need more, I'll unhide them and have you turn them in Blackboard. But I'm going to try to do most of the assignments on MyOpenMath, so you don't have to constantly be checking back and forth between the two. Whenever something is due in Blackboard that's not in MyOpenMath, I'll make sure to post a note in MyOpenMath to let you know, hey, there's an extra assignment in Blackboard, and go look at it. All right, so I'll pause here, and you let me know if you have any questions about the class, about me, about MyOpenMath, or any feedback. Yeah, MyOpenMath is usually new to everybody because we're so used to dealing with like MyMathLab because it came with all of our textbooks. It works mostly the same. But everyone has seen those funny pictures on the internet where someone posts something in MyMathLab and says, nope, that's wrong. The answer is 5, but they typed in 5. I pride myself on having the technical ability and knowledge to be able to fix those kinds of problems. So I'm not one of those teachers that's like, well, the question's broken and there's nothing I can do about it, so I guess I'll just change the grade. I can fix those kinds. I'm going to be spending a lot of time making new questions for our test assignment. Yeah, absolutely. All right, so like I said, not a lot of questions that are left. I'm okay with ending here. I know it was a little bit short, but I'm okay with that. So for the people that are watching on the recording, thank you for watching the recording at least. Hopefully you can make it to one of the sessions. Email me if you have a better time that works. For the people that are here live with me in the session, thank you for coming today. Thank you for being available on such short notice. And in the future, like we might have times where we'll be able to actually go into breakout rooms or vote or touch base a little bit more. But thank you for being available, and good luck getting all of your assignments started. I'll see you guys either on Wednesday or next time I see you in the session. Have a good one.